Hey, what's going on everybody? This year here with my round 2 Cosmic Crucible video. We have 2 more matches until Season 6 is finished of Cosmic Crucible. Monday, Season 7 should be starting up. I can't wait to see the rules for that. But for now, let's focus on this match. Let's go ahead and take a look at my opponent and see their defense and how we're going to try to beat them out. My opponent is Eagle VN, but I hope they don't mind. I'm just going to call them Eagle throughout this video because I don't want to keep butchering their name. Eagle has a 103 million TCP, so it's going to be about a 30 million punch up for me. So it's not the biggest punch up I've done, but it's definitely up there. Hopefully their defense doesn't look too bad. Let's take a look at that and see how we're going to try to approach my opponent today. In Stage 1, they have the X-Treme X-Men with Rogue and Jubilee. Stage 2 is Secret Defenders with Dorm, and that's a pretty big Dorm and Secret Defenders team. Stage 3 is Infinity Watch. Stage 4, they have the full Out of Time team, and they're built pretty big, so they're definitely ready for that legendary unlock. Stage 5, they have New Avengers. In Stage 6, they have Hero Asgard with Nova. So they have some pretty interesting defenses. 3 of the teams I'm kind of worried about, so hopefully I can try to overcome what they have there and try to go for the full one-shots. For Stage 1, I'm going to use the Superior 6, and I'm going to add Vulture into the mix. And also try to remember that Vulture does have that drain mechanic, and to take advantage of that, keep him all the way on the left side of the field. I believe it's only Kraven that's having that issue with the drain, but just to be safe, I always put Vulture on the far left to make sure nobody else has that issue. To start this match off, Vulture is going to target Gambit and use the special. That's going to put slow on Nightcrawler, Gambit, and Rogue. Green Goblin Classic, I'm going to use that ultimate. That's going to get that nice turn rewind out there so that way I can start getting more turns and lapping the opponent. For Kraven, I have to target Rogue. I'm going to use the special still. That's going to ability block her. For Doc Ock's turn, I'm going to use that special and get the Shocker out there. And for Spider Slayer, I'm going to use that special. I really want Jubilee to be killed off right here. That way when the other team starts going, they're not getting that assist mechanic. For Vulture, I'm going to use that ultimate. That's going to do another turn rewind for them. And I need to be careful. I need to kill Nightcrawler as soon as possible right now. Because if he ends up going and doing the special or anything, I could be in trouble. I do another turn rewind with the Shocker right here. And now Green Goblin Classic is up. I'm going to use that special, and that does kill the Nightcrawler off for me. Now that Gambit is under that health threshold, I need to kill him off because those pings are starting to do too much damage to me. Here, Kraven's going to use that ultimate. Gambit's now dead, so I just have to worry about the Rogue. I use the ult from Doc Ock. The Striker attack does kill her. For Stage 2, I'm going to try using my new warriors into the Secret Defenders with Dorm. I've done this before, but not this big of a punch up. This is about a 900k punch up, which is pretty crazy. I'm still going to play for the one shot, but if this one fails, I think I still might be okay, because then we can go down to efficiency battle. I'm hoping my opponent at least drops one if I drop this one. So right away, the Ms. Marvel Hardlight's going to use that ultimate, and my characters did end up evading that. My Gwenpool's going to use the special to flip all the buffs on the other team. This one here, I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to use Firestar's ultimate. I decided to target Photon with it, so that way I can try to get rid of the Dorm. For Deathpool, I used the special. I spread those negative effects around. The Photon unfortunately lived, so did the Dorm. This is a very beefy team. For Cloak, I target the Dorm and use the ultimate. And here I decide to use the basic for Dagger. That will kill the Dorm off for me, and the Death Pull Ping does finish the Photon, so 1 life of hers is now gone. Unfortunately, the Black Cat had a good RNG on their side, bad RNG my side, where they kept bouncing between the Gwenpool and the Cloak. Luckily, the Gwenpool using the ultimate was able to flip those negative effects for me, and now Photon is dead. And here I have another bad RNG where Black Cat just targeted my Death Pull and used the ultimate. I was relying on her using the ultimate to just one-shot the Black Cat. For Firestar's turn, I used the special on the Robbie followed by the Cloak's special as well. I'm trying to target the Robbie down next as my next big target. The reason I wanted Dorm out first is so that way he wouldn't use his special and flipping all of my positive effects into negative effects. It's just the team is so beefy, it's taking me a lot longer than I wanted it to. Now that Ms. Marvel Harlight has that taunt up after doing the special, I unfortunately do have to target her. However, after Robin doing the ultimate right here, I now know that this is going to be a 2-tap team. So I'm going to target the Robbie, finish him off, and then I'm going to have to come up with the cleanup, so that way I can actually have a respectable score by the end of this round. For my cleanup team, I'm going to use the Undying with the Eternals. Hopefully this doesn't go too bad as far as turn order goes because of the safeguard and the immunity on the Black Cat. But this is kind of the best case scenario, I think, for me to have a good cleanup. So Ms. Marvel Harlight is going to go first. She uses the basic on the Zombie Juggernaut. So I'm going to use the special for the Zombie Juggernaut. That puts a slow out there on the Ms. Marvel Harlight. The counterattacks did pretty good damage though from the Black Cat. I'm going to use the ultimate from the Zombie Juggernaut. That is going to get me some health back as well. For the Greg, since I don't care if they take any damage or anything, I'm going to target the Black Cat. That gets a heal block on her. Instead of using the ultimate from Icarus, I'm just going to use the special. And I'm going to target the Black Cat so I can get some extra damage on her. For the Cersei, I do use the ultimate. That's going to flip those negative effects into positive effects that was on the Icarus. For Hela's turn, I'm going to target the Ms. Marvel Harlight, use the ultimate. That's going to spread those negative effects over onto the Black Cat. For the Zombie Iron Man, I use the special. And for the Zombie Juggernaut, I use the basic. She's almost dead, so is the Black Cat, so now I'm going to use the ultimate from Icarus. For Cersei's turn, I'm going to use the special on the Ms. Marvel Harlight. She is now stunned, and I get to call in some extra damage on her. Here for Hela's turn, I'm going to target the Black Cat and use the special. So now that she has the death proofs off, I'm going to just focus everything on Black Cat. She's going to be under control. I'll kill her, then I'll clean up with Ms. Marvel Harlight. The turns definitely took a little bit longer than I planned on this one, but I still got it done. For stage 3, I'm going to use Spider-Weaver, Venom, Mysterio, Lizard, and Spider-Man Big Time. I'm going to need the Hive Mind for a different team, and I also used Vulture on that stage 1 fight, so I kind of had to throw this together. Hopefully it doesn't go too terribly wrong, and I can still have a decent efficiency score, considering this is a pretty big Infinity Watch. So right off the bat, the Spider-Man Big Time is going to go first. I used the special on the Adam Warlock to remove the Revive Once from him and Nebula. They all have that speed up though, because I don't have the Vulture with me. I'm just going to use the ultimate from Spider-Weaver. That's going to put the charges on me. Gamora's move is unavoidable. So now I have Lizard up. I'm just going to use the ultimate. I'm going to take all those buffs, and now my Lizard has those. The Adam Warlock does use the ultimate. I wasn't able to get stunned because the taunt and the immunity. So right now I'm targeting down the Nebula. I should have been targeting the Phyla, so I realized that a little bit too late, so now I'm switching my attention over to Phyla-Vell. Here the Venom uses the ultimate. It spreads those negative effects onto Adam Warlock and Nebula. For Spider-Man Big Time's turn, I use that ultimate so that way it can kind of hit everybody. Here the Gamora and Nebula are working on the Lizard pretty good. For Spider-Weaver's turn, I used the special, and unfortunately it chained back to Nebula and the counterattack broke the chain. For Lizard's turn, I used the special on the Phyla-Vell. I was able to hit the Nebula and Adam Warlock. For Venom's turn, I used the special on Phyla-Vell, and here the Mysterio ultimate actually killed her off. Since Nebula is almost dead, I'm going to switch my attention over to her. I want to kill her off next before I go over to my next target. So because of all of the assists that's been coming in with Nebula and the taunts that the Lizard's been having on him, I did just lose the Lizard. So that is going to cost me a few efficiency points. Here the Big Time is going to use the special on Nebula, so I was able to get some damage on her and Gamora. Unfortunately, Nebula is being harder to take down because of all the evades and the death proofs that's on her. The Weaver was able to finish her off though with a basic. For Mysterio's turn, I use the special that puts a blind on them. So right now I'm going to work down the Moondragon because she has a way to remove buffs and heal up the team. So she's kind of my next biggest threat right now. Once I get her down, I'm going to switch my attention over to Gamora because Gamora's doing way too much damage to me. I need to stop the bleeding that's happening on my team right now. Moondragon is down, and just as you saw, Gamora took out my Mysterio. So I'm going to use the Weaver ultimate on the Gamora, and the Venom basic was able to actually take her out. So now I'm just going to put on auto. I got the win, however, I did take too many casualties in this battle. For stage 4, because this is a full out of time team and they were so big, I'm going to use my Cabal with Apocalypse and Kang. Now typically I would prefer to use Masters of Evil as its own team and Cabal just throw 2 other characters with them. However, because of how big this team is and I didn't need a full Masters of Evil on one of my other counters, I'm able to throw Kang in here, and I have Super Skrull where I can use elsewhere. So Kang is going to go first. I'm going to use the special on the Black Knight, and that's going to get me the double tap on the Black Knight and offense up. I use the special from the Iron Patriot, and you can see that Captain America is almost dead already. For Namor's turn, I'm going to target the Black Knight and use the special because he is a striker, so I'm able to get another attack on him, on the Black Knight. For Leader, I use the special. Black Knight is now dead. I use the ultimate from Apocalypse, and that's game over. For stage 5 with the new Avengers, I'm just going to use the full Pegasus team. The Pegasus in stage 5 has a really big advantage because anybody can bring anybody back with the ultimates. So right away they're going to target my Kestrel and kind of go all out on her. She does stop the minions from coming in with Nick Fury. And there you can see Tiger did take out my Kestrel. I'm not worried though because like I said, when I use one of their ults, Kestra's going to come back. So the Ironheart is going to go first. I use the ultimate even though she's blind. Kestrel is now back out. For rescue, I'm actually going to use the ultimate so that way I flip those negative effects that were on my Iron Man Infinity War. My Iron Man Infinity War does use the ultimate. Darkhawk uses the ultimate. And the ping actually killed one of the characters off already. Tigra does have an evade on her, so I'm just going to use the special that kills off the Coulson. Tigra does use the ultimate, and you see that my team took quite a bit of damage from the bleeds and the slow. I'm going to take out the Tigra next though. So right here I use the special from Rescue. And here I use the special. Tigra is now dead, so I just have to kill the Ronin, and I got the victory. For stage 6, I'm going to use the Hive Mind with Super Skrull. This should be a pretty quick victory since it's just a hero Asgard with Nova. So Super Skrull is going to go first. I'm going to use the special on the Nova. That's going to give a rewind to him, Vol, and Thor Infinity War. Because the charges he did resist the exposed mechanic though, unfortunately. For Void Knight's turn, I use the ultimate on the Vol. So Vol is now ability blocked. Here I use Carnage's ult on the Vol. I should have actually used it on the Beta Ray Bill so that way he'd have Disrupt on him. I use Gwenum's special to stun the Nova. And here for Red Goblin, I actually use the ultimate so that way I can do some damage to everybody. And for Super Skrull's turn, I use the basic. That's going to do a nice chain across and actually killed the Valkyrie and Nova. And luckily the Valkyrie passive did not go off. So Void Knight, I'm just going to use the special. Vol is now dead, so I have an easy cleanup on Beta Ray Bill and Thor Infinity War. And I unfortunately lost. My opponent looks like they didn't drop any attacks while I did drop that one attack. Even if it went down to efficiency, if I did a one-shot on that stage 2 that I failed, I don't know if I would have gotten him on that. So well played, congratulations Eagle. Let's take a look at the attacks. For stage 1, I got an 18 and a 20. This attack looked like it had pretty good efficiency too. I was pretty happy with this one. This was the attack that it dropped. The alternative, what I was thinking of, was adding Super Skrull to this team so that way I can try to one-shot this one and using the full Hive Mind in the stage 6. I don't know how the stage 6 would have gone though, but this was the one that cost me the match, and I got a 17 and a 1. The turn bonus on this one was terrible. This one here didn't go quite as planned either. I got a 12 and a 6. I lost 2 characters and the turn bonus was terrible on this one as well. Not having the usual team of adding the Vulture and the Gwenum kind of cost me on this one as well. The stage 4 did pretty well for me. I got a 15 and a 25. This felt really good adding the Kang and the Apocalypse. That way I can get this full one-shot on the Out of Time team. So I was pretty happy with this hit. For stage 5, I got a 14 and a 21. The Pegasus into this team felt pretty good as well. So it's happy with this team that I used here. For stage 6, I got a 20 and a 22. Like I mentioned earlier, I thought about using the full Hive Mind team here and using Super Skrull in the stage 2. I don't know if the full Hive Mind would have been able to take this one out because of how big the Vol and the Nova were. They would have thrown a pretty big wrench into the full Hive Mind. As for my defenses, they used the Masters of Evil with Super Skrull into my stage 1. They got a 13 and a 20, so I was pretty happy this pulled the Super Skrull and the Masters of Evil. For stage 2, they got a 17 and a 25. Here they actually used Cabal with Doom and Kestrel. I found this very interesting that they added Kestrel into the Cabal team, because they do get the defense downs with Patriot's special, so that would give the pings for the Kestrel as well, just not the extra damage. So this was a pretty interesting pull. For stage 3, they got a 19 and an 8. They used Darkhold with Quicksilver into my Infinity Watch. So that 8 on the turn bonus, it still looks like it took them a little bit to beat this team. For stage 4, they used New Warriors with Apocalypse. I found this also pretty interesting because I had my 3-piece Out of Time with Red Hulk and Nova in here. They got a 10 and a 20, so the turn bonus was pretty good for them, but it looks like it kind of cost them pretty good in the health bonus. For stage 5, they got an 18 and a 22. They used the full Superior 6 into my X-Treme X-Men with Jubilee. And for stage 6, they got a 20 and a 19. They had a pretty interesting mix of characters to beat My Hero Asgard dorm. They added in Eternals, Spider-Man Big Time, and Red Hulk, along with Spider-Weaver. Weaver would give the permakills, the Red Hulk and the Big Time would remove the revived onces, and then of course you had the double tap from the Eternals. So overall, I'm still kind of kicking myself because I played it a little bit too safe on the stage 6 and it cost me on the stage 2. I should have just used the Super Skrull with the New Warriors into the stage 2 fight because I knew that was going to be a tough one as well, and just at least tried or see what other characters I could have added in for that stage 6 fight. But that's hindsight being 2020. I did lose out on my top 200. I'm still in the running for Masters though. I need to go 2-1, so if I win the next one, I'll be in Masters for the start of next season, which is I'm pretty happy about for that because my ranking is a lot better this season than it was last season, so I definitely improved. But put down in the comments section below, did you see any other mistakes that I made? Anything that I could have done differently on my fights to help get that efficiency and try to get the W on this one? Also, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm pushing for that 500 subs and eventually that 1,000 subs. The channel's still growing very fast and I appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful rest of the day.